in continuation of yesterday's discussion. What silence is, we have to sit silently for realization. So now we have to understand the nature of realization. Realization has to happen consciously. Unconsciously, it's not, doesn't help us. Somebody goes to sleep, unconsciously is peaceful. He is not the awareness, the objective awareness has gone back. He is unconscious. Unconscious means there's no conscious activity, but he is peaceful in deep sleep and silent also. So how can we become silent in the waking state? Always we use the word I am going, I am coming. Here I refers to consciousness, I am refers to existence. So that means we are already aware that I am conscious and I exist. I am, right? I for consciousness, I am for existence. The consciousness is called Chit, I am is called Sat. Existence is called Sat. Sat and Chit, we are aware in the waking state. What is missing in the waking state is called Ananda or bliss. So that means Brahman is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Out of that Sat and Chit, we know all the time. I am going, I am coming. When I say, first I am declaring I am, and then I am saying something else. Sat and Chit, we don't have to realize. But Ananda aspect, we have to realize. Understand? That's all. Ananda only. So all our life is search for Ananda or happiness. I want to get happy from coffee. I want to get happiness from tea. I want to get happiness from power, money, position. So entire life for a search is for Ananda. Sat and Chit, we don't search because we know already. I exist, I am aware. I am. Now the question is, what stops us from getting from Ananda? Happiness or bliss. The Ananda or bliss is our nature. We don't have to get it. As a child, we are of the nature of Ananda. Child is blissful. So what happened to from child to adult? From child to adult, bliss has become mess. Why bliss has become mess? We have thousands of thoughts in our head. 70,000 thoughts. Child has no thought. Child has no thought. And no thought is called bliss, Ananda. So, can I become no thought in the waking state? Is the question. How do I become no thought? How do I get no thought in the waking state? And if I get no thought in the waking state, our mind is blissful. I am blissful. That's called Brahman, Sachidananda, Paramananda. No thought or no mind means same thing. Is it practical to get no thought in the waking state? So no thought doesn't mean blankness. No thought means I am fully aware, but the thoughts don't bother me. The thoughts which are required for functioning will come. For example, I have to read a newspaper, the thought will come. But unnecessary thoughts of past and future are gone. 70,000 thoughts are there per day. Functional thoughts are very few. All other non-functional thoughts. Maybe 10, 15 or 20 thoughts which are required for functioning. Rest are all junk thoughts. All junk thoughts are about past or future. So they will drop. So now the question is, how do I get that no thought state easily? So there are many people, many follow many techniques. Somebody will say observe the breath. Somebody will say meditate. Somebody will say chant mantra. So many techniques are given. But Vedantic technique is not about a mechanical way of doing something. Vedanta is finding out what exactly is the problem and what is the solution. There are many mechanical ways of solving the problem. Drink a cup of people drink alcohol to reduce the thought. That's all. To feel happy. They become unconscious. Okay, so that's not the way. Consciously, how I can reduce the thought. That's where Ramana Maharshi says, inquire who am I? Inquire who am I? This is a very important question. Who am I? There's no answer to this question. Okay, because all answers come from memory. Now, why who am I is important. We'll understand. Our any thought comes from an identity. For example, I am a woman identity. So then the identity is woman, then all woman thoughts will come. I have to dress this way, I have to take care of my daughter, I have to take care of my family. Like that, woman-related thoughts will come. Then future, that's a functional thought. Then future thoughts will come. Okay, oh, will I become old? Okay, when I was young, I was beautiful. Now I am becoming have a wrinkled face. Like that, all woman-related thoughts will come as a package. Present, past, and future. So one identity will give rise to many thoughts. So similarly, a man identity or a father identity. I am the father. I have to take care of the child for today. I have to drop the school in the child today. It's a functional thought. But then what will happen? Tomorrow my child goes to college. Will I be able to pay the fees? It's a future thought. No, I was very happy before marriage was a past thought. So one identity will give rise to many thoughts. Right? When you ask, who are you? It is the identity which is being asked. Which identity is giving thought? So now, who are you? The question. So the people who come to this class, they come with the identity, I am a seeker. Right? So now, I'm the father identity is kept aside, I'm mother identity is kept aside, I'm a woman identity is kept aside, I'm the seeker identity is there. Seeker identity has another set of thoughts. So when will I get enlightened? Okay, when will I become silent? When will I become Brahman? Okay, oh, that person became Brahman, that person got realized. Okay, realization means this. All those thoughts will come from seeker identity. Right? Understand? So now, again apply, who am I? Why this question, who am I, is applied? Because, please understand, our mind can hold one thought at a time. It cannot hold two thoughts. It may appear that mind has many thoughts, but mind can have only one thought at a time. It replaces one thought with the other thought. So to kill 70,000 thoughts, you have to have one thought which will kill that 70,000 thoughts. Or which will stop that 70,000 thoughts. One thought which will stop other 70,000 thoughts is that what thought is called who am I? First answer for who am I is I am identity. I am so man, woman, or whatever, or I am a seeker. Okay. Now the seeker identity, again you have to say, who am I? Am I the seeker all the time? No. I'm seeker when I come in front of Guruji, but when I go home, I forget myself. I become a mother or a father. So my identity keeps changing. The seeker identity is also not permanent. Seeker identity also comes and goes. The mother identity also comes and goes. Father identity also comes and goes. So what comes and goes is not you. What is changing is not you. So seeker identity is what I have, but what I am not. I am not identity. Seeker, we have to understand the difference between what I have and what I am. I have a mobile phone. That's why I am not mobile phone. I have an identity, but that's why I am not identity. So the confusion is between I have and I am. What you have is not what you are. Because what you have keeps changing. Seeker identity will come when you remember Guruji or when you remember Vedanta. Seeker identity will go, then mother identity will come or father identity will come. Some identity will keep on changing. It's a role. It's a character. The moment seeker identity comes, it will come with a package of thoughts. When will I get enlightened? What happened to me? Why I'm suffering? Like that thoughts will come. Understand? So now, when seeker identity, first you ask this question, who am I? So first answer is I am seeker. So now ask who am I again? Who am I? Am I the seeker? No, seeker identity comes and goes. That's why I'm not the seeker. Sometimes seeker identity is there, it comes and goes. Sometimes mother identity is there, it comes and goes. So I am not the seeker. Seeker identity is what I have, but I am not seeker identity. Then what am I? I am the witness of seeker identity, because for the witness, seeker identity comes and goes. Mother identity comes and goes. So witness is not affected. So I am the witness. Now you have to change your identity from seeker to I am the witness. Hold on to thought that I am the witness. Then seeker identity is gone, because seeker identity is what you have, what you are not. You are not seeker identity. So what I am is witness. So witness is not bothered about identity. Identity comes and goes. Identity comes and goes. I am the witness. So I am the witness is also thought. So look at what we are trying to do. We are removing a lot of thoughts with one thought called I am seeker, and one thought called I am seeker. You are replacing one thought called I am witness, sakshi. So now I am sakshi thought is there. So many things are coming and going. So many identities are coming and going. But I am not bothered. As a witness, I am not bothered. So then next comes, am I the witness? So for the witness to be something, is a witness just a thought, or witness is the reality? So witness is not just a thought, witness is the reality. Because waking state comes, goes. Dream state comes and goes. Deep sleep comes and goes. But I am not changed. I don't change. I am never changes. Have you seen that? You always say, I was born, I grew up, I became old, I am staying in Bangalore. That I has never changed. There's some changing I and unchanging I. The changing I is related to body, mind, intellect. Changing I is related to identity. But unchanging I has not changed. So to say I am Sakshi is not just a thought. I am Sakshi is the reality. In front of Sakshi, something is coming and going. Something is coming and going. It's like a screen. On the screen, the movies come and go, but screen doesn't change. Sakshi is the screen. So then you realize that I am Sakshi is not just a strategy. I am Sakshi is the reality. I am the witness is the reality. So now you don't have to hold the thought, because you are holding on to reality. I am Sakshi. Then you ask the question, who am I again? Am I Sakshi? Am I the witness? So witness, for witnessing something, there should be something witnessed. Reality, I can witness something which is there. But what is there is waking state, dream state, deep sleep state are unreal, mithya. So if I am witnessing mithya, then I am not even Sakshi. So when I'm saying I'm Sakshi, the Sakshi is there, Saksham is there. Sakshi is there and Saksham is there. Right? Witness is there and witnessed is there. So now the question here is, can we say I am Sakshi is also a role played by the mind? So what we call as mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Okay, mind is nothing but thought. No thought, no mind. All right. So now, I am Sakshi is a thought. That means there's thought in the mind. But then you have to ask, really I am a Sakshi? Because mind appears in the waking state and goes. In the dream state, mind appears and goes. In deep sleep, there's no mind. But I am there in all the states. So I am Sakshi is not a thought. I am Sakshi, waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. I am there as a witness. If I am not there, there's no waking state, dream state, deep sleep, or being separate. The one thing is, single thing is there in the waking state, dream state, deep state is called witness. So I am Sakshi is a thought in the mind, but it's really pointing to real Sakshi, which is not a thought. Real Sakshi is beyond the mind. It's not a thought. It's a screen. So now, I am Sakshi thought also you can drop, because I know I'm the reality. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep comes and goes. I'm not affected. So next thing comes, am I really Sakshi? To say Sakshi, there should be Saksham, there should be duality, seer and seen. The seen is waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, which are coming and going. They are changing states. What is changing is mithya, unreal. So that's why to say I am Sakshi is also meaningless. There's no duality. That's why I am saying I am Brahman. So I have hold on to a Brahman thought. I am Brahman thought. I am Brahman thought is in the mind. This is called Brahmakara Vritti. But you realize that why should I hold I am Brahman thought? So then drop the Brahman because I am Brahman only. Brahman is the reality. So that way you are going beyond silence of the mind. So many of the teaching of yogic teaching, you say sit silently. Sit silently refers to mind. So Vedanta teaches you go beyond the mind, which is say silence is your nature, you are Brahman. See, in the Brahman there are thoughts coming and going, world is appearing, disappearing. It doesn't matter, it's mithya, unreal. So the Brahman, you are not sitting silently, you are the silence. My nature is silence. Whatever is happening in the world, it doesn't matter, it's mithya, unreal. So that way, the real teaching of Vedanta is your nature is Brahman. The Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda. Ananda is your Swarupa, nature. Ananda is not what you get. So go more and more, you stay in your nature. That's called abiding in the self. Just be yourself. So when you abide in your own nature, which is awareness, then what will happen? Unnecessary thoughts will come down because thoughts are created by identities. So that is the method of Vedanta. Who am I? Simple question of who am I will thousands of thoughts will reduce to one thought, identity. So who am I? That identity thought will go on to Sakshi. Who am I? The Sakshi is gone, Sakshi thought is gone, and I'm real Sakshi. And am I Sakshi? Who am I? Then I am Brahman. I am Brahman thought is gone. That's where from many thoughts we come to one thought, and one thought to no thought. No thought is my nature. When my nature is no thought, the thoughts come and go, it does not matter. The movie screen is not bothered about movie. What's happening in the movie? Our problem is if we become movie character. Is there any questions? See here, if Sakshi can be dropped at a later point, even this as Sakshi is an identity. No. See, Sakshi is your nature. In the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, there's one common thing in you. That's called existence and consciousness. So that we call as Sakshi. Who calls us Sakshi? Mind calls us Sakshi. But Sakshi is not an identity. Sakshi is the nature behind the mind. Right? Waking state, dream state, deep sleep, something is common. That's why in Avastatraya Prakriya, I tell clearly what is that behind all the time. Now, Sakshi identity has to be remembered by the mind because there's a duality. Waking state is real, dream state is real, deep sleep state is real. So once you understand waking state, dream state, deep sleep state is unreal, Sakshi is just a name. The name given to reality called Brahman. Because I'm witnessing something. Brahman is witnessing something, so it's called Sakshi. So now when you understand that what is witnessed is not there, the Sakshi is Brahman. So please understand, Sakshi is not an identity. Sakshi is the role played by Brahman in witnessing the world. So if the world is real, Sakshi is the role played. So when you understand world is not real, then the Sakshi is not there. The Sakshi is Brahman. See, don't get confused by the name and identity. Sakshi is not an identity held by mind. Sakshi is Brahman only. Anybody has a question on Zoom? Yes, sir, Vipin. Can you unmute?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Guruji, yes, this understanding is quite unambiguous and clear that there are three states: waking, dreaming, deep sleep. There are two things: Sakshi and Sakshar, the seer and the seen. My nature is Sat Chit Ananda, and abiding in my nature, thoughts will come down. Sakshi, by the mind, is cause of duality. And the reality is that Sakshi is the role played by Brahman. Sakshi is Brahman.
Correct.
Now, the question, Guruji, is that how I am Brahman. No questions about that. But the disturbances that come, they come because of this duality and because of the mind sometimes creating problems. What is the way out?
Oh, a very, very good question. First, let me answer the question on YouTube. There's a question on YouTube which says, is the Sakshi name given by the waking mind? Yes, Sakshi is the name given by waking mind to the Brahman. Name given to the nameless Brahman. Sakshi is, it's called Sakshi by the waking mind. Okay. But Sakshi is not an identity. Sakshi is Brahman only, witness in the world. Okay. So don't get, is the world called Sakshi, it can be called as witness, or it can be called any names. The name given to wake, the name given to the screen is called Sakshi. The question in the YouTube is asking, is the Sakshi name given by waking mind? Yes, it's a name given. Okay. So, I mean, to give another analogy, there's a movie screen and there's a movie character. Okay. So the movie character is our waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, guys. The movie character says, oh, there's something behind me. Okay. Movie character does not know what is screen. Movie character, something behind me all the time. And there's something behind me all the time. Okay. Some name has to be given. The movie character says it's called Sakshi.
Okay.
Okay. It's only screen. The movie character says Sakshi because it's all the time it's there. All the time it's watching me coming and going. So that it's nothing but a screen only. So similarly, the Sakshi is the name given by the movie character called waking state to Brahman. So then if you inquire really, the Sakshi is not a state. Sakshi is the reality. Sakshyam is mithya. Movie is mithya. Movie is unreal. That's why there's no watching. There's nobody someone watching anybody. So the Sakshi role is not there. That's why Brahman alone is there. Is that clear to the answer question you asked on the YouTube? So now I'll answer the question which is asked by Vipin sir. So Vipin, Dr. Vipin, you says, I am Brahman, very clear. Okay, but mind creates disturbance. Correct?
Correct.
So the mind creates disturbance. So that mind has to be addressed. So the simplest way to think, realize, mind is mithya. If you are able to realize very clearly, then done. The unreality of the mind has to be realized. So, see, you see a rope, you see a snake, and you are scared of the snake. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, what do you want to do? Do you want to remove the snake? Can snake be removed from the rope?
No.
Snake cannot be removed. Understand? We have to understand snake is false. Correct?
Yes.
So, similarly, we have to understand the mind. The mind is mithya or unreal. You have to understand. That is the relief from the mind. So, I'll give another example. somebody goes in the night and sees a ghost. Okay. So once he sees the ghost, he's afraid. Then he'll come to call a mantravadi, magician, to remove the ghost. Magician will do some magic and says ghost is gone. But ghost doesn't go because this ghost is not there. Ghost is your imagination, right? The correction is required not in the ghost, but imagination. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the challenge of the mind is to be addressed by clarity that mind is mithya, unreal. So the moment as we become more and more clear, the mind is mithya, Jagat is mithya, the mind will stop disturbing us. This is the process of Vedanta. So why mind is mithya? Why mind? Sorry, yes, go ahead.
Guruji, mind is helping us to reach to the state that I am Brahman.
So that's where mana eva karanam manushyanam bandha mokshayo. Mind is the cause of bondage. Mind is the cause of liberation.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying remove the mind. I'm saying understand the nature of the mind.
Okay.
So we can understand mind like this. Okay. So I want to go to Switzerland, for which I need a map. Okay. Without map, I cannot go to Switzerland. But is map Switzerland?
No.
Using the map, I have to go to Switzerland. But map itself is not Switzerland. So mind is the map which will help us. Mind is pointed to the reality. Use that mind to go to the reality. But don't get stuck up in the mind. So mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Let us understand mind is the cause of bondage. What is the cause of bondage? Bondage is I start thinking the world is real. Reality to the world I have given. That means snake is real or ghost is real. All right. So we give reality to mind has to understand what is unreal, what is real. That's called Mithya and Satya.
Yes.
The crystal clear clarity has to happen in the mind only because mind is the confused entity. Okay. And also please understand, sir, the mind is nothing but Atma only. Everything is Atma only. Mind identified with the Atma or Chidabhasa identified with the mind, intellect is called mind. Okay. So the mind is a confused entity and that confused entity start thinking everything is real. Seeing the ghost, it says ghost is real. Seeing the snake, it says snake is real. Okay. Now that is the cause of bondage. Taking everything as real, what is unreal is cause of bondage. Mana eva karanam bandha. Mana eva karanam mokshaha or liberation. When you inquire, oh, is there a ghost? No, there's no ghost, only tree. Then I start laughing. There's no snake, there's only rope. Then I start laughing. Understand? So now the problem here is understanding clearly. That's the process of Vedanta. And that understanding has to happen in the mind only, using the mind only.
Yes.
Without mind, you cannot understand.
Yes.
Okay, now let us understand where exactly is the problem in the mind. Okay. So, in the waking state, the world is projected by whom? Ishvara. The universal consciousness projects. The world is not my projection. My body and the world appear in the morning. Right?
Okay.
And in dream, this body and the world disappears and dream body and dream world appears. In deep sleep, there's no world. So body and the world is like appearing like a movie in the screen. Now, when it appears, we take it very seriously. So that leaves an impression in our mind. And we go for experiences. Experiences gives happiness, ananda. We are seeking ananda. We are not seeking sat and chit. Sat and chit already we are. Ananda aspect of Brahman we are seeking. So now, when I seek ananda in any experience, there's the duality goes. For example, if I eat apple, the apple and my mouth become one. In the experience, experiencer and experience become one. Are we clear? So
No,
that means,
this is not clear. Guruji, this is not clear.
See, there is a banana, right?
Yes.
There's my mouth. So when I connect banana to the mouth,
Yes.
the taste is there.
Yes.
In taste, banana is there. The banana has been converted to taste.
All right.
Right? In the taste, my tongue is there. The tongue is taken the form of taste. The
Yes.
subject and object become one in the experience.
Okay.
Are you understanding?
Yes.
In any experience, the subject and become one, object become one. That is called experience.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It can be touch, taste, sound, smell, or form. The subject and object duality collapses in the experience.
Okay.
That's why it's called Ananda is there.
Okay.
The Ananda comes because subject object, the non-duality is there for temporarily. That's why Ananda is there. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now, in the experience, there's no experiencer and experience. The subject object duality is not there in the experience. That's why any experience is nameless experience. First, nameless experience, there's no name. The moment name comes into picture, the subject and object duality comes into picture. Are we getting what I'm saying? Let us take the example of a child. Child has no thoughts. For the child, experience is nameless experience. There's no separation there. Some sound comes, some touch comes. There's nameless experience there for the child. Are we clear?
Yes.
Same way, a jnani has a nameless experience all the time.
Yes.
Because he doesn't do the naming. Unnecessary thoughts don't come.
Yes.
But most of the people experience there. Before the experience is over, they'll say, oh, this banana I am eating. Subject and object will come to them. Then the experience is cut. Duality is cut now. Non-duality is cut.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying? The
So,
non-duality is
Guruji,
there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes,
Guruji, what you're saying is that when a child looks at the environment around, the child is looking, but in the mind is not forming any impressions.
correct.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. When child sees, there's no seer and seen. Only seeing is there. When the child hears, there's no hearer and hearing. There's only hearer and heard. There's only hearing.
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, when Jnani is there, when he sees something, there's no seer and seen. There's only seeing.
Okay.
So then Jnani, when he talks, there's no talker and words. There's only words flowing. The subject and object is not there in that.
Yes.
And in case of Adnani also, the same thing is true. When Adnani speaks also, there's no speaker. When Adnani hears, there's no hearer. The hearer comes later. Hearer comes from the memory.
Okay.
Understand? In the experience of Jnani or Adnani or child, there's no duality.
Yes.
And that experience is called nameless experience. Nameless experience is a glimpse of Advaita for all of us. That's why we go for experience. Everybody goes for experience because in that experience, any experience, they feel joy. Are we clear?
Yes.
This is true for Jnani or Adnani or for a child. Nameless experience is common. Nameless experience is Ananda for all of them. But the problem comes when the mind comes into picture. When the memory comes into picture. So when the memory comes, the nameless experience is broken. So then it says banana, me, and eating. So one experience is broken into three. Three is called Triputi. Are we getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
So naming disturbs the nameless experience. The naming comes from the memory. Nameless experience comes from the reality, present moment. The past, memory is always about past. The past comes and destroys the present.
Yes.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm getting.
So any experience is nameless experience. followed by naming. In the nameless experience, there's a bliss. Ananda is there for anybody. Whether seeing a movie or a dance or music, nameless experience is joy. The moment naming happens, the joy is stopped. And recording happens now. I was happy. So I'll give you another example. There's a music kacheri going on, music concert going on. The musician is singing beautifully. Then people are listening. The music is so beautiful, they start crying. Yes. The musician also so engrossed in music. So now there's no musician and spectator, listener. There's only music flowing.
Yes.
There's a nameless experience. Then suddenly music stops and everybody starts clapping. Then musician feels, oh, I did a great music.
Yes.
So ego comes into picture.
Yes.
Please understand, ego is not there when the experience is going on. Ego appears later to claim the experience. Ego is not a doer. Ego is not an enjoyer. Ego is not a knower. Ego is a claimer.
Yes.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm getting.
And the claimer is always false. The claimer is not at all real. See, have you seen our old movies? The hero will thrash the villains. Okay. Then all the villain and hero stand for a group photo. Policeman will come and take the group photo and take to the boss. I caught the thief. The policeman was not there when thieves are caught.
Yes. Yes.
Ego is a thief. Okay, ego is a thief which comes from memory, which is always past. All experiences are in the present moment. From past, you bring and say, claim the experience. That's what ego does. Are we clear?
Yes. Yes. Yes, Guruji.
Ego is a claimer. Ego is not a doer. Ego is not an enjoyer. Ego is not knower. But ego claims knowership, doership, and enjoyership. And what is there in all the experiences? Brahman only. Hearing comes and goes. Touching comes and goes. Smelling, experiences come and go. But knowing is always there. Screen is always there.
Yes.
So only real experience in our life is called knowing. All other experiences are mithya. They appear and disappear. Are we clear?
Yes. Yes.
In any experience, there's no duality at all. It's called nameless experience. Okay. The duality is superimposed later. Memory comes and picture says, I, banana, that it splits the name, subject and object. So that's why rope and snake analogy is given in Vedanta. Snake is reality. I look at the snake, then mind comes and projects. I look at the rope, then mind comes and projects snake on that. Mental projection comes on the rope. Similar name and form come from the memory and get superimposed on my current experience. Then it becomes false. Current experience is real. Yeah. But that experience is superimposed with a name and form. Then it becomes unreal. And name is always coming from my memory. Are we getting what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, I'm getting good.
So now the challenge for us is we don't have to stop all the thoughts. Okay, identification with the I thought is the problem. I identify myself with the I thought. When the thought comes up, suddenly I'll identify. So mind is required for functioning in the world. But identification of the mind is the problem, nothing else is the problem. So you have to be able to use the I thought for playing a role, but don't be used by the I thought. Don't get addicted to I thought.
So, Guruji, can you give a practical example of this? Not get addicted to the I thought.
So, who are you?
Brahman.
Brahman, right? The Brahman is a thought coming to you. But many situations, somebody comes and shouts at you. Okay? Then Brahman thought doesn't come.
Yes.
Okay, I'll say, for example, I'll come and say, you are a teacher, right?
Yes.
Some student comes and says, sir, you are such a great teacher, you say. Immediately, the teacher identity comes up.
Yes.
Your Brahman is forgotten now. You become teacher.
Yes. Yes.
right? So then some other person will come and say, sir, I didn't like your teaching at all. Then he'll get hurt.
Yes.
Understand? So
Yes.
what has happened here? What happened to Brahman?
The ego came, the mind from the past came and disturbed.
No, mind came. It's perfectly all right to bring your teacher identity because you did a service of 30 years or 40 years. A teacher identity is there. It's recorded in memory. It's useful because otherwise you can't function. You can't take your pension and all.
Correct.
But to say I am teacher is a problem.
Okay.
So I am teacher is the problem. So you say I am Brahman, but I play the role of teacher, then you are done.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So
yes.
people come to Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi Namaskara, they say. So Ramana Maharshi turns his face. His name is Ramana Maharshi, but he doesn't identify with Ramana Maharshi.
Okay.
He'll use the Ramana Maharshi identity for interaction.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes. Yes.
So you are a teacher is false. You are Brahman playing the role of a teacher is true.
Mm.
So what hurts is I am teacher hurts. I am Brahman doesn't hurt.
Yes.
Are you clear?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the
yes.
false identity is used for interaction, but I am not the identity. This clarity is there, your thoughts will reduce.
Mm.
Are you clear?
Yes. Yes, Guruji.
So in Vedantic teaching, sitting with a clear thought that I am Brahman, that's called Vedanta teaching. Vedanta. That's called Nididhyasa. Okay. So there is a question on YouTube. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Yes. Yes, Guruji. Yes.
Okay. So now there's a question on YouTube. Who is the enquirer? Is the ego enquirer? Okay. So please understand, ego is a I thought. I thought cannot be enquirer. Because I thought will appear sometimes and disappear sometimes. And I thought keeps changing shape. Sometimes I thought become woman, sometimes I become man, sometimes I thought become seeker. Right? So I thought is a temporary entity. Now who is having a problem here? Who exactly has a problem? That guy is seeking. In deep sleep, there's no body, there's no mind, there's no intellect, I am blissful, there's no problem. Right? In the waking state, the body, mind, and intellect comes into picture. The body, mind, and intellect gets animated or powered by consciousness. Okay. So now, the consciousness powers the intellect, buddhi. Then buddhi becomes a knower. Intellect becomes a knower. Are you clear? Intellect is the instrument. The instrument becomes alive because of consciousness. The now entire problem is for the knower. The intellect is powered by consciousness and the powering is called chidabhasa, reflection. Intellect you can think as a mirror, reflection is there in the mirror and mirror becomes alive. Now, this entity called chidabhasa or reflected consciousness is called jiva. Jiva has no independent existence. Jivatma is the total existence. Atma is there in the background. Atma is the Brahman. Jivatma is the total entity. Okay. So Atma has no problem at all because Atma is all pervading. It has no problem. Jivatma has a problem. A conscious entity has a problem. Okay. Are you getting what I'm saying? The conscious entity, when identifies the intellect, it becomes a knower. I am the knower. Okay. So now, the knower, when it does something, the body is also alive, body is also conscious. Knower thinks, I am the body. Mind is also conscious because of Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. So, knower says, I am the mind. So, we have three problems now. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the knower. Kartaham, Bhoktaham, Gnataham. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the knower. Because I am the body, I am the doer. I am the mind, I am the enjoyer. I am the intellect, I am the knower. These three identities are there for whom? For Chidabhasa plus Atma, Jivatma. It's not for Atma. Atma has no problem. Jiva has no independent existence. Jivatma is the total package. It's a conscious entity. The conscious entity has identified with the buddhi, intellect, and says, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the knower. Now, the conscious entity called Jivatma is uncomfortable with the limitation. The body limitation or mind limitation or intellect limitation. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
The conscious entity is not accepting this limitation. The conscious entity, Jivatma, is inquiring. So, Jivatma has Jiva, Atma plus Jiva, and intellect is superimposed. Together, it's Jivatma. So now, inquiry is done by intellect to understand I am not the body, I am not the mind, intellect. This jnana happens in the mind only, intellect only, mind only. But for whom is the jnana? Who is doing inquiry? This Jivatma is doing inquiry. Who am I? Inquiry is done by? Not by the I thought, but Jivatma. The buddhi, intellect, using intellect, the Jiva, Atma is doing the inquiry. A conscious entity can only do the inquiry. So I'll give another example, okay, to make it more clear. There's a film actor who plays the role. He's a very rich film actor, but he starts playing the role of a beggar. In the beggar role, he plays so well the beggar role, he thinks he is the real beggar. Now he is miserable. He is depressed as a beggar. Okay. He is depressed as beggar. I'm beggar. I don't have enough money. I'm suffering like that. Then he goes to psychologist. Now who goes to psychologist? Does beggar go to psychologist?
No, the actor.
Actor who thinks I am a beggar goes to psychologist.
Yes.
Understand? The beggar cannot go because there's no beggar. It's an identity. So when goes to psychologist, then he tells psychologist, so I am suffering, I don't have enough money, I am begging in the this thing street, nobody's giving me money. So whose problem he's telling? He's telling the beggar's problem. Is beggar real? Not. Then when the psychologist answers the question, whom he's answering? He's answering beggar or actor? Psychologist knows he's an actor. He tells, no, don't worry. Begging is not, you are really rich man, he'll tell. For whom he's telling? To the actor.
Correct.
Right? But beggar thinks, oh, I'm beggar still. I don't know, my problem is not solved. I don't know how to make money. He'll say, he tells the role of a beggar. he thinks he's a beggar. So now, when a Jivatma thinks I am the doer, I am the knower, I am the enjoyer. The knower, doer, and enjoyer are just the roles, identities. They are not real. Who is doing the inquiry? Jivatma is doing the inquiry. Jivatma is taken the role of knower, doer, or enjoyer. Inquiry is done by the Jivatma. Who am I? And when Shishya goes to the Guru teaches him, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. Whom it is teaching? He is teaching to Jivatma, who is confused with the buddhi, intellect. When the psychologist talks, he doesn't talk to the beggar, he is talking to the actor.
So, Guruji, when Ashtavakra came to Raja Janak in that story of Vedanta, so when Raja Janak had asked that, when he saw the dream that he is a beggar, so can that analogy be given in this context?
Correct. So Raja Janaka thinks he is dreams that he is a beggar and wakes up he is a king. Now he is confused. Who am I? Am I a beggar or a king? Okay. Then Ashtavakra says you are neither a beggar nor a king. You are Atma.
Correct.
So teaching is given to whom? Is it given to beggar?
No.
Is it given to king? Both are roles. It is given to Jivatma, not Jiva. Jivatma.
Jivatma, yes.
Please don't separate Jiva from the Atma. Okay, it's given to Jivatma. So who does the inquiry? Jivatma. Using the mind.
Using the mind, yes.
Okay. So anybody else has any question? Anybody Zoom and has a question? So there's one more thing which I want to tell you. Okay. Most of the people don't come to self-enquiry directly. Okay. They will go through some other techniques and processes which are mechanical in nature. Enquiry is clearly understanding what exactly is happening and go to the point. So the whole point of spiritual journey is not to identify the memory. That's all. Use the memory, but don't identify the memory. Use the I thought, but don't identify the I thought. If you do that, that's all your spiritual journeys end. That's called enlightenment or liberation, freedom. So this is the path of jnana marga or Vedantic marga. Clearly, exactly understanding what's happening, understanding where the problem is and solving it. Whereas there are other systems, what I call as probably yoga marga, where you have not understood the problem clearly, but you try to solve a problem. What problem you are solving? My mind is noisy. I want to become silent. So mind is giving the problem. They have understood. They'll use some techniques, maybe breathing, maybe other technique, japa, chanting to make the mind silent. So in that teaching, you say, sit silently. Okay. You do japa chanting. So when you chant japa, some 70,000 thoughts will come to one thought. After you stop the japa, again thoughts will come up because the problem is not solved. You're not understood the problem. So when you do breathing practice, mind will become silent. But after stopping the breathing, again mind becomes agitated because you're not solved the problem at the root. Vedantic teaching is trying to solve the self-enquiry, is trying to solve the problem at the root of the problem. The self-identity is the problem. Self-identity is not a problem. Identifying the self-identity is the problem. So this is the path of jnana marga. In the kriya marga, the kriya yoga or kriya path or kundalini yoga, energy is used. Instead of focusing on the thoughts, the focus is on the energy. So the energy which is going out is withdrawn into spinal cord and it comes to Sahasrara. Sahasrara, there's a point called Bindu. So in that point, the world, the mind, energy all become one. So now, instead of 1,000 thoughts, you hold on to one thought, Shivoham, I am consciousness in that one point. Because consciousness, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, it can take the form of a point or it can take the infinity. So consciousness brought back to one point where you hold on to thought that I am Brahman, I am Sakshi or I am Shiva. So then what happens? All other thoughts will come down. When thoughts reduce in the mind, mind becomes silent. So this is the Kriya Marga. So in Karma Yoga Marga, I do some work. When you are doing some work, there's no doer and deed. There's only doing is there. Okay. So the doer and deed comes because of mind superimposing my identity on that. So Karma Yoga is simply learning. I'm not a doer. I'm not an enjoyer. I'm simply one with the doing. There's no doer. Or you can call the doer as God. God alone is the doer through me. So that's called Karma Yoga. So all yogas are trying to reduce the unnecessary thoughts in the mind. The doership, knowership and enjoyership. And doership and knowership and enjoyership is not real at all. It's the ego claimed by ego, which is false. It's a claim. When doing is happening, ego is not there. Ego comes afterwards. When knowing is there, there's no knower. Knower comes later. When enjoying is there, no enjoyer. Enjoyer comes later. The falsehood we are removing, that's called Atma Jnana. So how do you do that? Nanu, nanembudu, nanalla, ideha, manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivanam Nani, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect. I'm pure consciousness. So the body, mind, intellect is the identity, roles which I'm taking. They are not me. Anybody, any questions?
So, Guruji, right now the question answer is going on. So there is no doer, only questioning is happening. Is that right?
The questioning is happening from the questioner identity.
Yes.
The ego comes from memory, it will bring a question. When the questioning is, before questioning, ego came into picture. During questioning, hearing is happening. After questioning, again, oh, I understood the question. The ego says, I understood. Answer.
So the ego claims later.
Ego is not there in the experience. Ego is there
Yes.
after the experience.
So how to get that stage where ego should not come at all, even later?
Don't worry about that. Let ego come up. As long as you don't identify the ego, what's your problem? Your problem is not ego coming up.
Okay.
Problem is identifying the ego. Learn not to identify the ego. That's all is Vedanta.
Okay.
Is it simple?
Yeah. Yes, Guruji.
When you don't identify the ego, that's called Parashanti, supreme peace. I am Brahman all the time. My only problem is sometimes I identify the ego. That's all. That's all is the problem.
Yes, Guruji.
Anybody else any questions? So shall we close the session today? If there are no questions. Purnima, Ashwini, Katyayani, anybody any questions?
No, Guruji. No, Guruji. Perfect. It's actually very simple. Ego is
you are Brahman. Sometimes you play the role of Sakshi. Sometimes you play the role of Jiva. Why are you doing that? Be Brahman.
Identification is the issue. That's all.
Identity, even thoughts are not the issue. Even I thought is not an issue. Right?
Because without that I thought, nothing gets done now.
You can use the I thought, no, but don't be
Use
used by
it.
I thought, no.
There. Yeah. Yeah.
Play the role of a mother,
Mm.
but don't be the mother. Play the role of a wife, don't be the wife. That's all is simple principle.
Very nice.
Most of the time what happens, we take the role so seriously, the role starts affecting us.
Correct.
It's like actor thinking he is a beggar.
Or an emperor. Both are bad.
Both are problem. You're neither a beggar nor an emperor. Just you are what you are. Nobody.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we want to become somebody. That's a problem. Just understand I am nobody. Somebody comes and praises us. I want to become somebody. Then I'll become somebody. Oh, he's praising me. Somebody shouts at me. No, I'm not. Either case, you are not a nobody. Be nobody, you are safe. Use the body. Don't worry about using the body or mind or intellect. But don't be used by the body and mind and intellect. Okay.